CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Nariman Isa.
Good evening. The Prime Minister and a federal delegation were in British Columbia today, meeting with coastal First Nations. Now, among the issues discussed were concerns over a potential pipeline running from Alberta to northern BC. The Prime Minister said there would be no big announcements that were coming out today. Instead, he said it was a day for his team to listen.
It's a decisive moment for Canada, and I'm very focused on not just building, but how we build and how we build together. So today is really about a dialogue.
Mark Carney and a handful of ministers met with the group Coastal First Nations, which represent 9 First Nations in BC. Now, the group works to protect the BC coastline and have a say in how resources and water are managed. Carney said it was important to meet with them after failing to do so before signing the Memorandum of Understanding with the Alberta government on the pipeline project. The Coastal First Nations say its position has not changed.
Coastal First Nations, along with Tlaxcalams and the Haisla Nation, oppose any project that proposed to bring oil tankers to the North Coast.
We will have to live with within these lands. These territories are part of our identity. It's responsibility to be stewards of these lands, because we'll have to live with the legacy of any development.
Now, the Premier's office says Danielle Smith met with the Prime Minister last week to underscore the importance of expediting the pipeline project. And it says the province is committed to working with Indigenous communities to help co-develop pathways to ownership and economic benefits. A local organization will be part of the high-stakes trade talks between China and Canada this week. The CEO of Invest Alberta says despite Ottawa's troubles with the country, Alberta has been able to maintain a positive relationship with China.
For all the times I've been there, they've always said we'd like more of Alberta's oil, and we've always been able to have to say, well, there's really no opportunity to that. So they're incredibly excited about the fact the MOU got signed last fall and all the work Premier and her team have been doing. So this is going to help us advance that discussion greatly.
China is Alberta's second largest trade partner. Last year, Alberta exported more than $6.5 billion worth of goods to China. Crude oil was the top export. The federal trade relationship with China has been deteriorating since 2018. Recently, China hit Canada with tariffs on canola, pork and seafood after Canada placed a 100% tariff on Chinese-made electric vehicles. However, the two countries may be more open to cutting a deal as both look to diversify trade away from the U.S. Prime Minister Mark Carney is meeting with the Chinese president on Friday. The head of Invest Alberta says he will be there to maintain Alberta's strong ties and support the federal government.
Actually, this is my 9th visit into China coming up, and it's really all about building those long-term relationships, right? When you look at Chinese culture, they don't deal with you on a one-off basis. They want to know you.
Now, this is the first visit to China by a Canadian Prime Minister in nearly a decade. The CEO of Invest Alberta says Carney already has a good reputation there because of his previous international roles. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe was also discussing China's tariffs on the Canadian canola. Alberta's chief medical officer of health says the crunch in hospitals is starting to improve. Now, she's blaming high ER wait times on an unusually large wave of influenza cases. Doctors insist the problem goes deeper than that and say they're wrongfully being painted as alarmists. CTV's Connor Hogg reports.
Over the course of December, influenza A activity rose steeply and placed significant pressure on emergency departments, congregate care sites, and care providers across the province.
Alberta's top doctor says higher than expected flu cases in the province has put tremendous strain on the healthcare system. But Dr. Vivian Suttorp says the worst of influenza A, or H3N2, is over.
We are now seeing test positivity rates decline, case counts are beginning to fall, and the number of Albertans admitted to hospital with influenza A is starting to drop.
According to the province, there are 187 fewer influenza patients in hospital today than there were on New Year's Eve. Doctors have been putting public pressure on the government for a week, urging it to declare an emergency.
Government response has been crickets. They've been silent. Having a medical, operational, expert team with authority to to run the system 24/7 is how you fix this.
ER Dr. Raj Sherman says Edmonton's system has been over capacity since August. Sherman says the problem is a system that can't care for the number of sick people inside of it. And AHS is no longer integrated after being split into 4 divisions. He says doctors are tired of being treated as alarmists.
They're just putting it simply down to the flu. But they think it's going to get better in 10 days when the flu goes away. But that's simply wrong.
While the province says influenza A has peaked, Dr. Vivian Suttorp says influenza B usually peaks later in the flu season, and the best way to protect against it is to get a flu shot. Dr. Suttorp did not answer questions about doctors' demands, referring them to Minister of Hospitals Matt Jones and an Acute Care Alberta statement pinning capacity issues on the respiratory virus season.
I'm hoping to hear that the minister acknowledges what's really happening, that the healthcare system is an absolute crisis, that crisis of the whole system surfaces in the ER departments that he is responsible for.
Jones is scheduled to take questions from the media Thursday. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
It was an emotional day in court for the family of a woman from Fort Saskatchewan hit and killed by a U-Haul. A video was shown from an Edmonton police helicopter of the chase leading up to the deadly hit and run. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
Okay, just reversed and rammed one of your members, guys.
This video from the Edmonton Police Service helicopter was captured in February 2024. It was played in court during the trial of Peter Ashby. He's accused of driving the U-Haul being chased by police.
Okay, guys, shut her down, terminate. Let this thing go to ground or start setting up for spike belts or something else. The chasing it isn't going to do anything right now.
The officer controlling the camera and whose voice is primarily heard throughout the video was called to testify. He was asked to explain how the camera works.
Coming up now to about 90, 100 kilometers an hour.
When the line of questioning delved into how he determined the estimated speeds of the moving truck, the defense argued the officer was becoming more of an expert witness. That's information that came out in testimony, and this is why expert evidence is important, the defense said, adding it didn't give her a chance to adequately respond. The Crown disagreed, saying the officer is allowed to give an opinion of a speed estimation. A total of 13 minutes of footage from Air 1 as it followed the U-Haul from Beaumont to Edmonton was played.
I've had multiple vehicles run my spike.
Although the justice says the audio is inadmissible in court as truth of contents, you can hear that other vehicles hit a spike belt intended for the U-Haul. It also captured the moment the U-Haul struck and killed 45-year-old Kassandra Gartner. Many of her relatives left the courtroom when the video played. Those who stayed could be seen wiping away tears. In just 2 days since starting to call evidence, the court has already heard from more than a dozen witnesses out of 60 expected to testify. The trial continues tomorrow. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Wetaskiwin.
Calgary police say a woman who killed a man last Friday will not be charged because she was acting in self-defense. Investigators say she was lured to the home by a man saying he wanted to view a rental property.
I can say that in my experience in the homicide unit, this is easily the most clear-cut case of self-defense that I have ever been involved in. She did everything right. This is a great example of someone who is completely innocent and had to suffer a very traumatic experience at the hands of a perpetrator.
Police say a woman in her 30s was meeting a man in his 40s to show him a rental property for a second time. Her father was there as well, but police say he was in another part of the home when the man attacked the woman. Now, she fought back, then ran to the neighbor who called to 911. The man was declared dead at the scene. The victim was taken to hospital in stable condition. Her family says she was badly beaten. CTV's Tyler Barrow has more.
A warrior and hero. This is how the family of the woman who killed her attacker in self-defense is describing her. In a statement to CTV News, the family says she didn't want to hurt anyone. She tried for so long to fight him off and escape, but when she was about to take her last breaths, she did what she had to do to survive and defend herself from the man taking her life. The woman in her 30s was beaten so badly she was barely recognizable to them, with her body bruised from head to toe and one eye swollen completely shut for days. She stabbed her attacker during a rental property showing. Her story, all too familiar for real estate broker Jeff Buziak. In 2008, his daughter Lindsay, a realtor, was killed showing a couple at home in BC. No arrests were ever made.
I am so grateful that the woman who was showing is okay. I'm glad the attacker is dead, because they get what they deserve.
access to.
For those who make a living selling homes, it's a gut check. Realtor Victoria Dalglish does financial background checks on clients while also parking her vehicle on the street instead of the driveway.
When people are walking around the house, instead of backing yourself into a corner, you want to stay where there's a door.
She's also ready with a designated emergency contact at the touch of a fingertip and no self-defense. Diana Trang, a self-defense instructor, says it's a tool everyone should consider having. She is commonly teaching realtors, teachers, while also doing corporate sessions.
Being proactive and learning it before you actually need it. Obviously, I hope that people don't ever have to use it.
As for the victim, who used self-defense to save their life, her family says she has a long recovery road ahead, but her condition is improving. Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
Edmonton's mayor says snow clearing is not up to his standards, and the solution is more money and more enforcement. Neighborhood snow clearing continues, and if you've got complaints, 311 isn't taking them. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
A grader pushes sloppy snow to the side of a narrow street in Beacon Heights. It's the second day crews are tackling neighborhood roads.
Seems like they're doing a great job. I mean, the issue is people not moving their vehicles, I think.
Two bobcats supplement the grader, buzzing around cars that were left on the street despite a residential parking ban.
It's incredibly infuriating to see that there's still folks leaving their cars on the street when there's ample notification.
The mayor says he's hearing from people frustrated with snow clearing, whether it was icy arterials a few weeks ago or windrow-filled neighborhoods now, and he agrees, adding crews are doing as much as they can within the $67 million budget.
Most major cities in Canada have a larger snow removal budget than we do, and they have fewer kilometers of roadways to maintain. So it's no shock we're not doing as good of a job as most other major Canadian cities.
Councillor Aaron Paquette has programmed a new tool to help Edmontonians understand the snow clearing budget.
Otherwise known as how I spent my Christmas vacation.
It's an interactive web page chock full of data. One section compares our standards to other major cities.
We would have to go up by 8 or 9 times what we currently pay to have the Montreal experience.
Another section offers a menu of snow clearing strategies and calculates the associated tax increase. Paquette wants Edmontonians to build and submit their ideal snow budget.
If I get an overwhelming amount of people saying, spend more on the snow and ice control budget, I can advocate for that.
Crews are clearing a historic amount of snow. The last time we got this much in December was 2004. The outlier snowfall, another factor council will consider when setting the snow and ice budget for next winter. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The city says if you have a complaint about the roads right now, do not call 311. The city's line is not taking complaints about snow clearing right now, even from areas that have already been cleared. 311 will start taking complaints again once the neighborhood clearing is done, which is supposed to be the end of next week. Well, some homeowners found themselves stuck at home after their driveways were blocked by windrows.
All busted out now.
Now, homeowners in this West Edmonton neighborhood spent hours trying to clear the windrows blocking driveways and sidewalks. Their neighborhood was plowed today. Now, the city's snow clearing plan does include the removal of windrows and driveways, and folks say that did not happen.
This is wild. Like, obviously you see our whole street. Everybody's had to be out here early to shovel because there's no parking whatsoever. You can't get close enough to the curb. Can't even see the curb for that matter. It freezes. I mean, there's a chunk of ice. I can't get any more than this because it's all ice underneath.
Now, according to the city, windrows are removed by skid steers within 4 hours of snow clearing from driveways and corner crosswalks. Well, more than 440,000 property assessment notices have been sent to Edmontonians. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti has more on what portion of the pie you'll be paying this year.
Like thousands of other Edmontonians, Tony Colley just received his property assessment notice from the city, and he isn't happy with the increase.
It was a 34%, actually a 34 point something increase in the assessment.
And so right off the bat, that concerned us, being that this is a mobile home.
Cawley isn't the only Edmontonian who will be paying more. The overall residential market value in the city increased 5.7%. For non-residential market value, it's up 2.9%. City Council has set a 6.9% tax increase to make up the city's budget, but you could be paying more or less than that.
We're not here to try to assess to get extra revenue to pay for certain projects for council. We are here to distribute the tax burden fairly and equitably, and that is the role of assessment and taxation.
If your assessment saw a hike higher than the market value, you'll pay more than the tax levy approved by council. If your assessment is below the market average, you'll pay less.
The City of Edmonton always collects what it budgets, no more and no less. This is the nature of the system.
The median assessed value for a single detached Edmonton home is $492,500. But keep in mind, your assessment doesn't determine current market value.
They use the data up to July 1st of last year. So they're using last year's numbers to assess this year's taxes. So when you're looking at your assessment, it does not reflect market value.
If you think your assessment is unfair, like Cawley,
I'm just probably one among many who are just frustrated with this constant nickel and diming that we're seeing.
You have until March 23rd to file a review. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Coming up next, bumpy ride. Calgary leads the country in flights disrupted by unruly passengers.
For many inconsiderate travelers, and this one takes the cake.
Good evening, folks. Almost a record high today, 9 degrees this afternoon. Tomorrow should get to about 10, and that will likely be a record daytime high. So how long is this warm air going to stick around? Oh, we'll talk about all that in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Calgary is leading the country in flights disrupted by unruly passengers, with WestJet involved in nearly 60% of incidents last year. The latest federal data shows the costly consequences of such delays. CTV's Mark Villani has more on how airlines are responding and why some say harsher punishments are needed.
It was supposed to be a relaxing vacation from Montreal to Paris, and then it wasn't.
The captain said, some of you might be noticing that we are dumping fuel, and we had to take an emergency landing in St. John's.
Calgarian Tony Martins was a passenger on that Air Canada flight. He says an intoxicated man was removed from the aircraft, and RCMP arrested him on the tarmac. A 4-hour delay led to more than half on board missing their next connection. The episode cost Air Canada more than $100,000.
Cost of the fuel, landing in another airport unexpectedly, the paying the crew. There are many inconsiderate travelers, and this one takes the cake.
Canadian Airlines reported 114 incidents of unruly passenger behavior last year, ranging from offenses like refusing to sit during landing, vaping or smoking on board, instigating fights, even inappropriate touching or indecent exposure. Calgary leads the way with 45 of those incidents occurring on flights arriving or departing from YYC. Nearly 60% of the reports also came from WestJet aircraft.
WestJet has unfortunately had a shift in its corporate culture, a shift in its training, a shift in the attitude on board, and that shows.
WestJet says it's already taking a zero-tolerance policy. Our cabin crew are extensively trained to de-escalate situations involving disruptive or unruly passengers. WestJet issues written and verbal warnings and reserves the right to suspend guests up to and including a lifetime ban.
There is no excuse to allow you back on an airplane like that.
But on top of it all, some aviation experts are calling on airlines to step up fines.
You take a 777 or a 330 airplane and you basically divert the airplane, dump fuel, that's a $100,000 job. That's a $100,000 cost. You send that bill to the passenger.
And while this Calgary passenger did eventually enjoy his trip to Paris, he agrees the consequences should be harsher.
I'm hoping he had to pay, but I'm sure it would have bankrupted him.
Applications for the 2026 Chinatown Vibrancy Fund are now open. The fund helps organizers of key events enhance parts of Chinatown, including arts and cultural programs. Some examples include Lunar New Year's and the Dragon Festival. Nearly $500,000 is available this year. Now, it's one part of the puzzle for an area that has struggled in recent years with safety concerns, drug abuse, and homelessness.
It's a community approach that is working with the EPS and also with bylaws, more of a compassionate way. But at the same time, we do practice a little tough love. When people cannot help themselves, we have to step up.
Nearly $1 million has been used through the fund since 2024. Well, the spring-like conditions are coming as quite a shock to a few drivers. The January melt has revealed some major potholes, like this one, later marked by pylons on the Sherwood Park Freeway. Now, it forced this couple to change a tire, and it took the air out of another driver's commute as well.
It was pretty bad. I had to replace the whole tire. The tire exploded, obviously. So it was a main issue. I was waiting here for like probably 2 hours. There's a couple cars, like around 8 cars that got the same issue too as well.
The City of Edmonton says 7 potholes have been filled between the end of November and last Friday. It says with the warm weather returning, pothole repairs will resume. Canada's men's national soccer team appears to be teasing a partnership with our city. A press conference is slated for tomorrow that will include the head coach and Mayor Andrew Knack. Now, Soccer Canada and Explore Edmonton posted this video on their social media channels, and it shows clips of the men's team matches in Edmonton, including that snow game against Mexico in 2021. The video also has tomorrow's date. Now, the caption says, "Stay tuned." We'll have the latest for you on our website and on CTV News 5 and 6. Well, coming up, when Edmonton's mayor learned about winter festivals on his overseas trip.
They do incredible work around the ice and snow economy, both on the tourism.
Wednesday on Your Morning Edmonton, an emergency room doctor explains how a state of emergency could help Alberta's healthcare system and what you need to know about Canada's new food labels.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by the Billy Joel Songbook with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com.
Welcome back. So yesterday we hit 10.3, which was a record daytime high. Today, we almost made it back-to-back record highs, 9.2. The record is still 9.4 from 1891. 3 degrees, though, for a morning low today. 9 degrees warmer than the average high for this time of year. Now, it looks like through the rest of this week, temperatures will stay above zero for daytime highs. I do think middle to the end of next week, we'll start to see some colder air return. For tomorrow, mainly sunny skies through the afternoon hours. On the backside of this low pressure system, tomorrow night and into early Thursday, we get some pretty gusty conditions from Edmonton off to the east and northeast. Might see some snow there overnight Wednesday night into early Thursday morning in eastern Alberta. Here in the city, though, I think the wind will gradually start to back off Thursday afternoon, and no precipitation in the forecast. Just mainly sunny to partly cloudy skies. -1 Fort McMurray tomorrow morning, about -4 in Grand Prairie. Should be a degree or two above zero here in the city. Daytime highs tomorrow around 7 or 8 degrees across the north. 9 in Edson with some sunshine. Red Deer gets to 8 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Look at this, mid-teens in Calgary and Lethbridge. Here in Edmonton, there's your record, 8.3 from 1942. Forecast high of 10 tomorrow. Windy tomorrow night and through the day Thursday. And temperatures will slip a little bit back to 5 degrees for a high Thursday, 3 on Friday. Saturday has a chance at setting one more record, as we should get up to about 8 degrees. And then here's your cool down for next week. You get a chance at some flurries late Monday. It doesn't look like that's going to amount to much. This could be a couple centimeters worth of snow as this cooler air starts to punch in, and daytime highs by the end of next week should be back to around -10. For tomorrow, though, about 20 degrees warmer with a high of +10. That is your forecast.
Mayor Andrew Knack is back home after traveling to Edmonton's sister city in China, Harbin. Now, he was there to help build economic relations and take in the world's largest ice and snow festival. Edmonton and Harbin have been sister cities for 40 years. Nak says his trip strengthens the bond between both cities.
They do incredible work around the ice and snow economy, both on the tourism side with that festival, but also just how they manage snow and ice in a winter city that's a very similar climate to Edmonton.
Nak says he sees a lot of opportunities, both economically and with winter tourism. Edmonton hosts its fair share of events during the coldest months of the year. That includes the Chiseled and Deep Freeze festivals. And both of those festivals are running this week. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good rest of your evening. Good night.